largest prize pool in the history of fun, $60,000.
All right, welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Tuning in to Oncast.com, as well as being here live in Jönköping, Sweden. Of course, the DreamHack Summer 2012. We are at DreamHon, baby, and we are at the semifinals, our second semifinals here. BxF versus TteS eSports. Zuri, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing so well. We just saw the first set of semifinals complete 2-0 in favor of Fnatic Recall over Trademark Esports, and it was a hell of a series. I'm expecting a series of similar excitement.
Yeah, there's no way it can't be. I mean, again, these top four teams, we expect that going into this matchup here for both of these teams. So I'm sure we're going to have the similar, if not even better, for this time around. But who will face the reigning DreamHack champions in the grand finals once again? We'll wait to see who it is. We are in the game, though, so let's get into it at the banning stage already between BlackFade.org and TteS eSports. Because TteS eSports, they finished first place in the group stages, went 6-1. Their only loss was to Fnatic Recall. And, you know, they were making the point that if they can help not facing Fnatic Recall in the finals, and that's what they're going to try to go for, because they were able to pick who they would face. Right. In the end, they chose to play against BlackFade, figuring that they actually play the best against them for whatever reason it is. Talking to Bobo, that's basically what he said. They just feel the most confident against them. But Fnatic Recall went on, so so if it happens to be them facing against Fnatic Recall, you know, but perhaps I'm worrisome there. But they got to get through BxF first.
Certainly right, and BxF is a team I think that has proven themselves throughout this event. You know, again, to reiterate, they're a team that hasn't been together for that long relative to some of these other teams, especially one like TteS eSports. You know, and that did make a lot of us a little bit nervous, myself included. And they've been performing. I mean, they've been playing really well. Of course, making it into the top four is a feat in and of itself, being a world-class team here and truly around some of the best players in the world. And, you know, again, you know, last game, it didn't go to that, or last series didn't go to that third game. But, you know, this series, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go into that ace match.
Yeah, it doesn't need to go to the third game to be a great series.
Oh, certainly not.
But
certainly not.
I think that was a great example of the last series that we had. I mean, it was a very, very fun series, especially that second game, man. I mean,
last game.
Down to really the last couple of minutes there. That could have been either team's game, but Fnatic Recall just did too much in the end. So, but for this game, we got the banning stage actually finished now. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we're dealing with. We have our Silhouette, Forsaken Archer, Nymphora, Ophelia, Armadon, Pebbles, Tundra, and Electrician. Now, what's not banned? You got a Moraxis on the board. We'll see if BxF looks to pick Moraxis up, or maybe Polywog Priest. Interesting. Wow. So they value Polywog Priest quite high. I know Smack Donald loves his Polywog Priest, so we'll see. But this does open the doors for TteS eSports to grab that Moraxis here. So
certainly right. You know, Moraxis is a hero we've seen banned almost every game as well. There's a couple of heroes that have been really recurring bans throughout this event. Interesting to see Forsaken Archer banned as well. She's really not a ranged melee carry, or a ranged melee carry, a ranged agility carry that we see too frequently banned. Yeah. So very interesting there. Not surprised to see BlackFade pick up Polywog Priest first. They're a team that likes to play very aggressive, in-your-face, non-stop pushing power. They are one of the few teams that does like to work in Balthagor. It seems they have Polywog Priest first. That could certainly be a possibility in this match.
You got Keeper, you got Balthagor. Yeah, there's the heroes are there. So we'll see now. But Bubbles and Aluna, the first two picks over here for TteS eSports. So again, another pass up on Moraxis. This hero has been perma-banned in this event, and when he wasn't, we saw him first picked. I mean, there's great reason for that. You know, he is a very powerful hero, and so many teams have been dominating with him on the competitive scene. But TteS eSports, you know, they're kind of playing. They're kind of like playing a chicken game. Who's going to pick him up first? It is going to end up being BlackFade, as they go with the Moraxis pick, and then Torturer on top of that. So a lot of CC already coming out over here on BxF side.
Oh yeah, and, you know, and you mentioned that Moraxis is a hero that's been very highly sought after, but he has a specific playstyle, and I know BlackFade really likes Moraxis. They were one of the, not the first team, but one of the first teams to really help popularize him. So I'm not surprised to see BlackFade go right after him after that Polywog Priest. And, you know, TteS eSports, they don't, I mean, they have run Moraxis some, but not like BlackFade has in the past.
Les QQ is a fantastic Moraxis player, so
he's next level.
No doubt to see that swap to him. Eventually, when he picks up his hero. But yeah, it's Lusky Q again. He's one of those guys that loves to play those really beefy, tanky heroes. Balfagor, for example. You talked about how BxF is known to pick up him every now and then. Lusky Q's the one that plays him. You got your Moraxes, you got your Armadon, you got your Zephyr. So we'll see if that happens. What?
Hot
What?
dog, Breaky CPK.
What just happened?
Now, I'm going to say something right here. I actually checked Twitter, and I saw an update that Shams was on his stream just, doing some commentary of his own, talking about the picks and stuff. And one of the things he said, expect to see some crazy hero picks as this event goes on. And they'll get crazier and crazier as we get closer to the finals. And I just have to say, shout out to Shams for being right on that. I never would have thought we'd see a Nighthound
That's a pretty
in this tournament.
broad.
It is, but still.
I thought you were going to say expect to see Nighthound. I was going to be like, wow, he deserves credit.
I mean, I didn't really read the post or watch the video.
Fair
but
enough.
Still, it's
wow. I'm just in shock right now. We see a Night. Okay, see, wow, it just hit me. I did talk to TteS eSports at the LAN Center the day before they were practicing, and I asked straight up. I was like, all right, guys, you got to tell me any secret heroes that we're going to see. They didn't mention Nighthound, so.
And you thought they were joking.
I thought they were joking. I was like, what, are we going to see Favy again? No, they were dead serious apparently, because this is a time to pick them up here. In the semifinals of the DREAMHON event, $60,000 on the line. We're live here from Jönköping, Sweden. The Australians going with the Nighthound pick. So wow.
So what's the counter to Nighthound? I mean, I think I've seen one competitive game with a Nighthound. It was a scrim.
Horde Revelations.
Well, the opposing team actually picked Blood Hunter to counter him, because whenever the blood sense is on, it does reveal. So if you get Nighthound down below 40%, it indeed does reveal.
Interesting way.
Potential counter, obviously not going to go Blood Hunter here. But,
I don't. It's.
I mean, he's a weird hero, but so is Nighthound. So it's. But they are going to go with the Dark Lady Glacius to finish it off here with this heavy CC
If you want to
team.
pick up a hero that's, and I'm not going to say dark counter by any means, but a very solid against an Invis hero like a Nighthound, Pestilence has come to mind. And I think he would fit a lot better into a competitive scene. Of course, with that Swarm revealing invisible units.
That's true.
I think that would be kind of a safer bet almost than a hero like Blood Hunter. But
I do want to see Blood Hunter.
I'm not saying that would suck to see that, because I would love to see that. But yeah, sure enough, we don't, though. BxF doesn't have that mindset, unfortunately. Instead, they go with the Dark Lady Glacius to finish off. So they're going with the Dark Lady play. But yeah, this TteS eSports, man, the Nighthound pick, I still cannot believe we're going to see not only Nighthound, but a Teen Nighthound going to be played
Flux
here
breaky?
by Leon Black. I see what you did.
Do you know how long I've been waiting to pull that out in a competitive game? We never
Flux?
see Flux. We never see him. So this is crazy. Flux and Nighthound on the same team.
We never seen Flux except for the 2 times we saw him played earlier for TteS eSports.
Yeah, I mean, that's wow. And they also picked up Parasite. We've been commenting on the sort of the lack of jungle usage. So
yeah, we'll tell about great Parasite player.
For this specific tournament, it's actually a little bit, not strange, but been rare to see Parasite.
Now, okay, so talking about Nighthound, he does. The Smoke Cloud is a very powerful tool, not only for ganking, but in team fights, it can be a very disruptive tool, both offensively and defensively. That backstab, or I guess the pounce ability, can also be very, very effective to use, not only for, again, getting kills, but in a very defensive manner as well. You can pounce to your teammates and your own creeps and whatnot. So he definitely has potential to be a solid hero. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just we don't see Nighthound. I mean.
Yeah, and I've heard people say in the past, a good Nighthound player almost plays like the ult doesn't exist. You have to play him like, I'm invisible, you're never going to find me. You have to play him really like a regular hero, and in certain situations, the invisibility will just help to, your survivability and stuff. One thing to note, though, with Nighthound's invisibility, it does count as a buff. So if he's silenced, he will be revealed. So, of course, things like Hellflower will work very nicely, but also Dark Lady with those Dark Blades, dropping that silence will prevent him from going invisible.
Yeah.
Well, for the duration that he's silenced.
No, that's a very good point to bring up. So, I'm sure Hellflower again would be a popular choice over here on this Legion team, perhaps on that Torch or even Polywog Priest to come. So we'll see. But now Nighthound, as far as his build, a Nullfire Blade is actually considered to be a pretty powerful item on him.
Yeah, almost a core item.
It's huge for the obviously agility game, which is great with his backstab ability. And then you got the Purge effect. It's very effective for it. Not only catch people in your smoke cloud, but then you also put that on top of them, and they can't get out of the smoke cloud because they're so damn slowed. So
right.
Yeah, just for chasing in general, it's just a very powerful tool for him. So no Fire Blade.
And you did bring up a good point about the pounce. You can use it defensively as well. You can port to friendly units, which is really important to note. So it does give him some mobility. I mean, Nighthound is not a totally useless hero. It's not a throwaway pick, just very rare. I think
No,
it's
yeah.
an important distinction to
Well,
make.
again, this is more of an old school, so I don't know if you know it, but Fei V is, I don't even know if you, do you even know Fei V?
No,
The
I
name?
do not.
Okay. God, how dare you. Well, no, Fei V is a famous Russian player that actually played a competitive HON back in the day, and there was a famous, really popular game where he was actually Nighthound against a Wretched Hag. He was against Chu's Wretched Hag, and he dominated him in the middle lane.
I
so.
have actually watched that replay.
Yeah.
I've actually watched that where Chu is playing. Oh, I remember it. I remember hearing the casters, and you were probably one of them saying, wow, this is going to be really rough for Nighthound, and he actually shut down Chu, who at the time was pretty regarded as one of the best players in the
Now,
world.
he did have assistance from TteS for every now and then, so it wasn't just true 1 versus 1 by any
that's
means,
true.
but it was very impressive to watch because you saw he jumped on a Wretched Hag with a pounce, he put the smoke cloud down and made a Wretched Hag like, I'm going to blink away. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm silenced. Yeah, it was very impressive play, and eventually he took over with that set. So that's kind of the one performance that really stands out to me with Nighthound play. Now, here, obviously, we don't really see too often, and very little from my history at least.
Yeah, if
so
I
not
recall
too many standing
properly,
out, but
that game, at least in the laning phase, Nighthound played super aggressive, and he picked up a bottle, if I'm not mistaken, and just continued non-stop harassment, using that blink strike on Hag every opportunity he had almost, using it very aggressively as well, spending that mana to pick up last hits on the creeps with the blink strike also.
yeah.
So I think the ticket with Nighthound is some nice early aggression.
Yeah, use that blink strike for exactly kind of like the Dark Lady Taint Soul. You know, use it for last hits. It's definitely an effective strategy for a hero like Nighthound. So, anyways, enough about him, though. Obviously, we're going to talk plenty more about him throughout this game, I'm sure. But there are other heroes in this game. Flux is actually going to be in the middle lane, and we talked about this, my nuts on TT eSports. He has been playing a little bit of Flux lately, and he has been doing in the suicide lane role. But in this time around, they feel it necessary that because of the setups, perhaps, that it just makes more sense for him to be in the middle lane. And he is going to be a middle matchup against Polywog Priest. So they had to know that it's going to be no-tail Polywog. So obviously, it's a case of Flux and maybe even my nuts being very confident that he can handle against Polywog Priest being played by no-tail. So really intrigued to see how this matchup fares here in the middle lane.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Flux with that very limited range is going to make it a little bit rough, but as we talked about before, he's just so beefy. So many hit points early on, he can just absorb that harass from Polywog Priest relatively easily. Now, of course, we see Parasite down here in the Legion jungle, so jungling very aggressively, possibly to help set up some aggression down here in the bottom, but he's going to hop inside a Skeleton King and head towards the mid lane with a Luna, so it looks like no-tail, or Smack Donald, pardon me, may find himself in a bit of a sticky situation. Here it comes, if he can get that Skeleton King trap. There it is, and he's going to be caught at the low ground. Are they going to have enough damage to finish off this kill? Luna going to come in with the power throw as well, and it looks like Smack Donald is going to be a goner. Down he goes with Talaba going to be the one to pick up that Bloodlust kill.
I apologize. I kept calling him no-tail. Yeah. I'm still on the last game, apparently.
That threw me off. I was like,
I know,
no-tail.
I could tell. But then when he said Smack Donald, I'm like, wow, I'm totally wrong. Anyways, yeah, great Bloodlust kill there coming out. And you can see it coming for a mile almost, and he tried to react to it, but obviously wasn't able to in time. So great Bloodlust kill coming out. Catman Champion now aggression coming out from Parasite right here. Looking to chase down Moraxis. In comes Bubbles with a Shell Support. He'll be stunned immediately, though, by Moraxis with a Quake Stun. So they will get away, but good attempt nonetheless. But Parasite all the way from the Legion jungle into the Hellborn jungle right off the bat here, and was obviously part of that Bloodlust kill in the middle lane. In fact, got the kill for it and already putting harassment here at the top side. So this is that aggressive Parasite play that we like to see.
Yeah, absolutely right. We talk about that quite a bit with Parasite being one such hero that really benefits from early aggression, also pending which creep spawns he gets, and that is definitely good to see here. He's going to hop into a Catman Champion, so RNG is with him at least for now with these creeps.
Yeah, it's definitely an effective minion to have. Nighthound in the meantime at the bottom lane. He's kind of running around doing ring around the roses with Dark Lady and Glacius. He wants to go for Glacius, but in the meantime, Luna gets jumped. You see Dark Lady taking a bit of damage right here, actually. Gets something delivered. The smoke cloud goes down onto Glacius, though, but Glacius will be more than fine. So, of course, Nighthound actually doesn't have his backstab just yet. Going to level 2 pounce, level 1 smoke bomb. We'll see if he goes the backstab with his level 4 here.
Yep.
To pick that up. So, but yeah, so far as that's what I was going to look at. The score as far as the creep farm goes, as early as we are, about 3 minutes in. Nighthound so far currently 10-2 compared to this Dark Lady at 9-2. So pretty even back and forth battle here. Not too often you see a melee hard carries going at one another. in the lane, but obviously we have a case of that here.
Yeah, the big thing I'm really curious about in this match is seeing Nighthound's scalability. You know, especially going toe-to-toe with the Dark Lady. I have to imagine Dark Lady is going to be a harder carry, all things equal, but it's still sort of an interesting conundrum. How hard can Nighthound truly carry given enough farm?
Yeah.
And I don't know that we have enough data available for us to make that distinction.
Yeah, I want to say, God, Dark Lady is so freaking powerful. So
yeah, because that backstab does scale very, very
it
effectively.
does, and so that's why I'm hesitant to say that
one of those things.
Yeah, Dark Lady is the clear victor, because I don't think she is, especially because of that backstab, how well it does scale. Speaking of that, the smoke cloud coming out, chasing down Glacius again, not going to choose some pounce once again, though. But in the meantime, Aluna taking that Taint Soul, being slowed down. Dark Lady, one more, maybe two more attacks. There's a one attack, one more. Can Aluna stay out of range? Stun in 2 seconds. Not enough minute for Dark Lady, and she'll be forced to turn around. Wow, very close right there for our Luna player, but he does survive nonetheless, and a backstep has been picked up by Nighthound now as he goes back in the middle lane. In the top lane, though, Parasite looks like it gets taken out. Bubble's going to need to get the hell on out of here. I don't know if that's going to happen. He's able to return damage on a Torture, get the kill on him, so a 1-for-1 exchange, but Bubbles ring around the rosy with the tree. The tree gets eaten, though, I believe. No, that was actually by Bubbles, and he ends up dying, so
well done,
kind of exposed himself right there.
Absolutely beautiful play by LesQQ. Now well above 300 GPM, the #1 farmer in the game after picking up that double tap on both Slicks and with Talaba. So LesQQ, as you mentioned, a great Meraxis player, and I think demonstrating that for us. Only 4 minutes into this first match.
Yeah, fantastic Meraxis player. Nighthound puts the smoke cloud down. He does not have pounce actually for 4 seconds, so he will get taken out. Good job from Torturer coming in, pulling him with the Agnes Bonds. Nice freeze from Glacius, and just completely catching him off guard. So excellent gank setup. And Nighthound, that death, that's going to hurt, especially in a lane like this where you got your 2 carries going at one another. That's going to give Dark Lady the better advantage now. Yeah, it's trying to combine 2 words right there. The better advantage now here at this bottom lane as a result of that.
Yep, definitely right. And Dark Lady's farming reasonably well. Certainly a step ahead Nighthound, of course, that kill. Changing stuff around a little bit, but only at 250 GPM. So against the Nighthound Aluna lane, it sort of makes sense that Kezu isn't totally taking off, at least not quite yet. But, you know, probably going to be moving towards a Rune Cleaver with that. Well, I guess it's a little early to say, but where did his health tube go? Oh, give it to Glacius. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, very effective to do, of course. You know, in that laning phase, you got your lane partner low on life. You had a life tube yourself. You're like, go ahead and take this. I don't need it right now. So, smart play there coming out from our Black Fade.
In the mid lane, though, Minot's on Flux, going to be in big trouble. Torturer going to roam over. There's the impalement, and is it going to be enough?
Oh, wow.
Smackdown going to be the one to finish him off with that last auto attack, and Minot's going to pay the ultimate price with his life.
Yeah, 4-2 hero code advantage now in favor of Black Fade as a result of that. Glacius in the meantime at the bottom lane. Minotaur stun already coming out. Glacius dropping quickly, and Nighthound. Actually, Bobo will get credit for the kill right there, playing a Luna. So, again, the roam continues here as Parasite doing some work here so far in this game. He is now 1-1-2 here, so being involved in all 3 kills for our Hellborn side. Very good news. He's going to try to find another Minotaur, looks like, and I believe, okay, yeah, he does take over another Minotaur right here. So Dark Lady will need to be a little bit careful. In the meantime, they did spot him running over because of the Ward of Sight up here, so that will cue Dark Lady to kind of run away a little bit, but obviously Parasite doesn't really have a path to her, so she should be fine. But it is buying time for Nighthound again to get some free from himself while the pressure's happening here. Oh, they cut through the trees, actually.
Oh, yep, exactly right. Nighthound now the leading farmer here for the Hellborn side, although nothing too impressive. No one in the game above 300 GPM, so it's relatively even across the boards. And actually a very nice equal distribution here on that GPM chart, which is always good to see, at least an indication that we have an even match.
Yeah, again, very early on, but still, yeah, it is quite the evenness here. For both of these teams. The stun on the Dark Lady, and no follow-up, just to letting him know that he's there. Top lane, though, we do have a stun on the Bubbles, and the Shell Surf not going to be able to work right there, as the stun lasting a little bit too long. So good pressure once again from Torturer coming in, assisting with more axes right there. Minotaur stun, though, coming out from, oh, never mind, Parasite is almost going to stun. I think Glacius is dead right here. I mean, maybe not, but probably. I'm pretty sure the Minotaur is going to get arranged in a matter of a second here on Glacius, so this is going to be interesting. All right, so here we go. Looks like we're going to be resuming here any second. All right, here we go.
It's going to be close.
So the Minotaur stun, is it going to hit? Is it going to hit? Yeah, there we go, easy. The leap in from Nighthound. You see just the damage output there. Bobo on that Aluna actually picks up the kill again.
Yeah, Bobo off to a great start now, 2-0-1. and that's always good to see support picking up those early kills, giving some of that extra money for those wards and all those other things supports need as the carries continue to farm. Nighthound now level 6, so he does have that invisibility ultimate.
Yeah.
Of course, the thing to remember, if he's silenced, it will get taken off. So that is a very key thing. It is a buff, not a passive thing like Armadon. So again, I still think Hellflower for this Legion side is going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah, again, I agree with you there. And of course, the Dark Blades, obviously, from Dark Liddy,
Yeah.
as we were talking about. So now, but the question is, you mentioned he's level 6, of course, has that invisibility. Now, are we going to start seeing aggressive revelations? And in fact, right away, as I was thinking about that, Torture does have one picked up coming to the bottom lane. In comes Parasite, though, jumping out of Dark Lady. In goes Bubbles as well. The leap already happening. Smoke Cloud onto Dark Lady. She cannot charging strikes in time. And down she goes. A great Smoke Cloud coming out right there from Nighthound. In the meantime, Parasite on Moraxis. And Moraxis will actually, nope, no, it didn't take him out. Parasite taking over the creep, but no, the electric jolt from Polywog Priest finishes him off instead. In the meantime, down here, actually, Umzai gets a kill onto Bobo, but now Flux finding himself in a tough spot, and Flux will end up falling, it looks like, in the end. So,
yeah, a bit of a misplay from Bobo right there. He was on the run. Glacius was actually trying to chase him down. Flux came in to keep him alive. Flux engaged, and Bobo could have gotten away, but he turned for a little bit of extra DPS. Torturer came in with the chain reaction to finish him, or the agonizing bonds, pardon me, to finish him off. So Bobo definitely could have escaped there, but opted to man up a bit and pay the ultimate price.
Yeah. That was a lot of action at that bottom lane. We're now seeing an 8-to-5 hero kill advantage all of a sudden in favor of Black Fae. We're only 9 minutes into this game, so very early on. So the fact that we have 13 hero kills, pretty damn good news. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, aggressive order revelations and even Dust. Wouldn't be surprised to see that start being picked up on this Legion team as this game progresses. But you know, the question is, when are we going to start seeing that? You would think the sooner the better. So Nighthound, you know, won't be able to take advantage of the fact that he is invisible, but we'll see here from our Legion side if they really look to take advantage of that. Smackdown running in the middle lane, using that electric jolt to really scare off Nighthound right there, and gets him to fall back a little bit. So Nighthound, though, he has adjusted into the middle lane, and that means Dark Lady is having a little bit better time at the bottom lane perhaps, but Flux running in. So maybe not as much, though. Moraxis chasing down Bubbles. We'll take the song on the Sea Nuke. In comes the Quakestone. He activates the ultimate, lets him know who the hell he is. And Bubbles will get away, though. The Kelp Field, and now the turnaround attempt. Luna is stun ready, I'm sure. There's a stun. The ultimate explodes. Parasite comes in with the leech. Is it going to be enough damage? Oh, Parasite stunned in tower range, actually. The chain reactions, and Parasite will fall. Nighthound leaps in, but not enough damage coming out. We have another boss coming out, actually, as Nighthound is going to be able to get away, it looks like. A Parasite overextending right there.
Yeah, it seemed like a good thought from Metallo. I think it was trying to gear up for path blocking, but unfortunately just got a little bit too close to that tower and a bit too much DPS for him to handle. So rather unfortunate, like you said, a little bit too much of a man up there, but I suppose could have been worse. Nighthound did survive, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's huge for our Hellborn team. I mean, he's not out of the woods just yet, but I believe he is going to be fine. I mean, Torture really doesn't have anything else now. And he is further away, so we'll be fine. Speaking of Nighthound, he does have a Steam Boots already, as well as a Ring of Teacher, farming that 258 gold per minute, but things are looking a little bit better as this game has progressed now for our Legion team, specifically Polywog Priest at the high mark of 320 GPM, nearly 2,000 gold saved up, so early portal key, very likely going to be a pickup here on Polywog Priest.
Yep, I certainly agree with you there. I have an interesting point about Nighthound here that as someone just mentioned to me. He has extraordinarily high armor at these low levels. He does have a Ring of the Teacher, but he's sitting at 13 armor. Without the Ring of the Teacher, he would be at base 10. That is huge.
I believe, he's one of, I think it might even, no, I don't think he's the highest, but
has
one
to
of
be
the highest.
One of the highest, yeah, absolutely right. But Slick's going to be able to finish off Umzai. That's going to be the end of his Ultimate Warrior streak as Torturer goes down. And Bubbles picks up a kill.
Yeah,
or another kill.
You see the GPM jump up there, right, for Slicks because of that streak gold end as well. So nice bonus, 330 gold coming out for him, and Slicks will gladly take that. He's now 3-2 overall when it comes to hero kills, but also now farming 280 gold per minute. Polywog Priest in the meantime in the middle lane. The wards are down. The port's coming in though. Will the wards be able to finish it off? They need to be careful right here. They're going to attempt to deny the wards a little bit too early. Oh no! Wow, that looked like it was going to be a kill actually. Well, they did the math very perfectly there, and Waitalaba actually gets credit for the deny. So, good timing on our Hellborn team's part.
Yep, absolutely right. The ports come in, and Polywog Priest, Smackdown on here, not going to go for the portal key. Actually going to opt for post-haste first. What do you make of that, Breaky?
That's
literally post-haste first.
No-till? I mean,
Pretender's Crown, 2 minor totems, bottle, and post
Yeah,
haste.
he's basically saying, I'm going to be all over the place, deal with it. Glacia's going to get caught out right here. You see the release right there from Flux. Nino was doing a good amount of damage, but Flux wanted him dead. A level 4 release sets up the easy kill right there.
Interesting Flux build as well. Actually, level 8 and just going 4
ultimate,
release, 4 magnetic surge, no ultimate.
No polarity swap, too. I've always found that interesting with Flux players. It seems like that tends to be the case. And Flux is actually a hero that when he did come out, and even nowadays, I actually still find myself wanting to play him from time to time. I'm a fan of at least getting the 1 level into that polarity swap simply for the sake of, having that option to push away with that magnetic surge and, of course, the ultimate as well. But, it seems to be the case more so that this is more the build. And, I mean, the E does more. It also does increase your attack range, but I guess these Flux players comfortable with just maxing out the Q and the W first, not even investing the 1 point into the
Legion takes down a Hellborn tower.
And there you go. Top tower going to get taken out. Polywog Priest kind of the culprit there. Didn't even need to use wards as they're still on cooldown, but they do secure another tower kill. So Black Fade going to start to pull ahead a little bit in that gold differential up at the top of your screen, of course, finishing off 2 towers and losing none in exchange.
Yeah, so I definitely like the Polywog Priest purchase now even more. I mean, the fact that it's already paying dividends right off the bat there with the post-hits up top to assist for the tower kill. Just expect him to just kind of be all over the place now with those wards cooldown, with the wards off cooldown especially, and getting some kills. Some ports coming in here for the leading team. Nice smoke cloud from Nighthound right there, right as they went on to, or right as they poured in. You do see the Dark Lady ultimate, the cover darkness was actually used right there. And Moraxis is searching for blood. He wants something out of this. Bubbles a great song on the scene to get the last second. And the turnaround happening. Torture will fall right there. Nighthound with a great smoke cloud on top of Polywog Priest. And Polywog Priest had absolutely no chance. Moraxis now less QQ, trying to run away. His ultimate, of course, on cooldown. It looks like he's going to be fine with those Ghost Marchers, but excellent turnaround coming out from TteS eSports there.
Yeah, beautifully executed. Nighthound with back-to-back great smoke screens, and that's the power of a huge AoE silence. We can't forget that smoke bomb, pardon me, not smoke screen.
I call smoke cloud.
Yeah, smoke cloud, smoky thing, the silencing cloud. Actually going to see some initiation continue here. Flux at level 9 does have the ultimate, going to pull this Legion team in, but he may be overcommitting a little bit. Speaking of overcommitment, Kezu going to go in, but he's going to get turned around on. Bobo going to be the one to pick up that kill, now sitting 3-1 and 4 as Kezu goes down.
That was just plain poor decision there by Casey. I mean, no other way to put it. Miscommunication, poor decision, whatever you want to call it. Not the smartest player right there. I mean, there was really no reason for him to go back into 4 heroes like he did. Yep. Especially being so vulnerable this early on. So pretty much basically giving them a kill almost, especially as Darkly. Really unfortunate for our Legion team. And I mean, their farm still remains around 250, but you pull back up the GPM chart and it's still slightly in favor of our Legion side, but it's now getting a little bit better for our Hellborn team, and it's a very even spread still for both teams here.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. And we can't forget Dark Lady on the Legion side, so even though they are starting to lose a little bit of that early momentum they picked up, they have that very, very hard carry though. We sort of go back and forth a little bit on Nighthound versus the Dark Lady. So
yeah,
still interested to see how one's going to play out. Nighthound's been playing a hell of a game so far, though. Does have that first quick blade picked up, and I can only imagine that's going to turn into a nullfire blade.
Yeah, I would think so. Again, we talked about that at the very beginning. It's just such a powerful tool for him to use. So we'll see if that happens to be the case, though. But I mean, already 103 maximum damage, and again with that backstab, can be hitting pretty damn hard. We see right there, critic for 153. So not too bad when it comes to his damage output. Morax is going to join him up here at the top lane, but noticing that also Bubbles and Aluna are here, wanting to be careful. But he's ready to set up a defense at this top tower. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Darkly jumping on a Flux as well as Torturer. But Flux is just a little bit too tanky, it seems like, and he will be fine. So good getaway. There were some ports that actually came in from our Hellborn side with both Nighthound and Bubbles, but I don't think they're going to be able to chase them down, it looks like, as Torturer and Darkly have already fallen back. But hey, they might as well push the tower themselves. Yep. That's what they're probably going to do here.
Yeah, certainly. So, yeah, like you said, the port's coming in, but if they can push this tower, it's certainly going to be good. Glacier's actually going to put in. There's that Ward of Rev coming down. So as we said, you got to play this hero like you're not invisible. At this level of play, Wards of Revelation will be a reality, and you can expect that the opposing team will be ready for you to be scouting them out. And just as we saw there, so Leon Black not overcommitting, though, obviously able to survive very easily. This tower getting dangerously low, though, and it looks like TteS eSports will be able to secure their first tower kill of the game.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get this one. BxF, no point to defend this. It's already lost pretty much, so might as well push out the lanes and see what he can make happen elsewhere. Smack Donald going back to him. continuing to be really up there. It's a top farmer in the game. Well, changing a little bit now with that tower kill, but they're pretty much all tied for that. Oh, really, 4 heroes, Jesus, 2 on each team, tied for the first place. But anyways, he has another 1,100 gold saved up. So again, this is kind of that no-tail style of build with Polywalk Freeze, where the post-haze portal key combination, very, very aggressive play. So we'll see if he indeed ends up going for the portal key, but it seems like that's the route he's going here.
Yeah, I mean, it would certainly fit the play style that he's going for here, like you were saying. And Meraxis actually now just picking up his portal key, and that's always a big item pickup. Going pretty much straight for the portal key as well. Got his Ghost Marchers, and as we've mentioned a few times in the past, we really don't need to go straight for that helm.
He's got Mystic Vestments. He's fine.
Yeah, he's got Mystic Vestments. He's golden. It's true, though. I mean, he's just such a tanky hero. He's 2-0-4, and, well, still in great shape.
Well, so this game continuing to be very even. Both sides have their positives. I mean, Nighthound is getting up to 320. I believe I saw him purchase his second Quick Blade, so that pretty much guarantees that we're going to see a Nullfire Blade out of him as expected. Now, my question is, are we going to see him upgraded? I mean, you know, when I did see that, especially that Nullfire game with Faye V, you know, way back then, that was before you were even able to upgrade Nullfire Blade. So I wonder if he's going to upgrade it right off the bat, or maybe wait for the charges to run out and then get the higher one. But, you know, upgrading it does not only make it no charges, but it does increase the stats on it as well. So it is very useful, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Nighthound chooses.
Yeah, you know, I would think he'd use at least a couple charges first, but you make a good point that it's not all just about re-upping the charges. The stats and increase is pretty significant as well. Other item pickups, Bubbles has a portal key now as well. Not sure if we mentioned that yet. But, you know, also great. Slick's going to have that initiation power, all that mobility, all the great things that portal keys can do. Regeneration Rune going to spawn top, and Slick's just going to go ahead and snag that bad boy.
That he will. Level 10 Slicks, mind you. And, again, he is up there with the others as far as top farm in the game. But, Nighthound's starting to pull away a little bit now, actually. He's jumping ahead of the rest of the crowd and not going to help push this top lane. No, but a port coming in. But with Bubbles here, boy, it is more access though. So as soon as they see that, they're like, yeah, screw that. We're not going to kill that guy. So might as well just continue to play a little bit passive and farm the lane up or what you can of it. So this game started out very aggressive here. I mean, it's hell. It's 10-9 hero kill advantage in favor of Hellborn team. We're only 18.5, 19 minutes into the game. It's slowing down a little bit now these last 3 to 4 minutes or so. By the way, Polywalk Priest did not go for a portal key. He actually picks up a Neophyte's book as well as a Mystic Vestments, I believe. Yep. So, possible tablet coming out. We'll see.
Tablet is certainly what I would expect, though. He could go into a... Never mind.
He could go puzzle box.
Yeah, that was... never mind. It was on the wrong wavelength. Nighthound's, though, continuing to farm pretty well. He's still the #1 farmer in the game, sitting around 330 GPM. We're going to see LesQQ get engaged on here in the top. There's the kelp field from Bubbles. I'm not sure he's going to be able to survive it. Or Kenny, that ultimate, making him that beefy presence as we've talked about. The ports are going to come in to support him, and he is going to be able to survive. So well played by LesQQ, hitting that R button and living to tell the tale.
Yeah, that's that almost set up a huge turnaround right there. Now, Nighthound is still around. Does Glacius? Yeah, Glacius has a couple of revelations, and I'm sure he's very aware of that Glacius especially will be the one to carry those around. So playing very, very carefully. You see him just, even though he is invisible, he's tugging all the way up here in the jungle, again, acting like he's not invisible. And he's going to run right next to Dark Lady. But, ooh, Dark Lady by herself now, the support left her. And she has, of course, no clue. And Nighthound actually going to open right here. A little bit surprised with that. I thought he might have waited for a little bit, maybe one support to come to set up a gank, but instead he just says, get out of my lane, bitch. I want to get this farm instead. So.
I mean, still, look how much burst damage he's able to do. Not that Dark Lady is super tanky, but dropped her down to about half health and just a couple of auto attacks.
Yeah, that pounce on top of that, I mean, it does a good amount of damage. So
it shows, I mean, right there, seeing how Nighthound can definitely be a viable carry. He did go level 1 Smoke Cloud, level 4 Pounce, and level 4 Backstab. So he's getting 100% of that agility as extra bonus damage when he's hitting from the back.
Yeah. I think he just finished his Nullfire Blade there. The second Quick Blade. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be delivered to him. So, again, we'll see if he decides to upgrade that or go for something else next. I think a Shrunken Head against this leaded team would be very valuable for a hero like Nighthound. So, perhaps that could be a next item choice in line. He does pick up a Mystic Vestments, though, right there. So that's another smart investment to make for himself. So.
Yep. You know, Geometer's Bane actually isn't a bad choice for Nighthound as well. You know, that Firebrand, of course, synergizing very nicely, but very well-rounded item in general. And Could work nicely for Nighthound.
Ooh, right here though, Morax is jumping. In comes the Hex, the Ward Trap on top, and Nighthound more than likely to. Can he pounce away in time? No, he cannot. So a great catch coming out from BlackFade.org. That's the portal key use coming out from Lesky Q on the Moraxes. Excellent, excellent execution there.
Yep, definitely right. That's the power of the Ward Trap, like you said. It's all about the crowd controls, though. Could have pounced out if he wasn't CC'd, but alas, he could not.
No, he cannot. So he didn't max out the pounds, by the way. Of course, and the cool thing about that is, you know, sure the damage is nice, but it's now a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, that's the big thing
on that pound. So able to use that quite frequently if he needs to get away or whatnot. Darkblade's activated by Darkblade. I thought you might have been going in, but it was a misclick, or maybe just heading over to the jungle anyways. They're going to do some stacking here in the meantime, so we'll take advantage of that. But, you know, this game just continues to be kind of this slower-paced game now. This lasts really 10 minutes almost, it seems like. As we're now at that 22-minute mark. The go-per-minute charts, very, very even spread, continues to be so. Just a really back-and-forth game between these two teams, and it makes me wonder a little bit, you know, what point are we waiting for in this game? I guess it's just simply, you know, get our hard carries farmed.
I guess so. Again, it's a sort of like the TDM versus Fnatic first game we saw in that last semifinal series, where both sides, sort of a sign of respect, that first game you really want to pick up that momentum, pick up that morale. And, you know, it seems in a best-of-3 series of this caliber and with so much on the line, teams tend to play a little more passive in that first game than they do in the subsequent matches.
Yeah, very, very, very true, and especially an event like this. I mean, especially at the finals, that's something, going back to previous DreamHack finals, it tends to be a case really in all of them. Even last year was a similar thing where, unfortunately, you have very, very passive play, you know, very farm-heavy games that people are just, they're hesitant. And it's understandable because, again, you know, you're in front of a huge crowd, you're in a live setting and everything, so nerves make it the best to you, and also you don't want to mess up, you know, with so much on the line that I really don't want to screw that up. So that does make sense. That perhaps that's why we're seeing a little bit of that here, but I mean, the game did start crazy, I'll say that much. So we are asking for a pause. Apparently BxF is out of pauses, I guess. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's some sort of a mouse issue over there. I think Insania was saying earlier he was having some sort of mouse lag issues, so possibly a driver issue, as those things tend to be, but I'm sure it will be tended to in a timely manner as we can resume. What's interesting about this game, though, given that there's two agility hard carries, if you will, no one's really breaking out. You know, this isn't an era 450 GPM.
Yeah,
everyone's focused around 300.
That's what I keep looking at, too. I mean, I've had it pulled up for a while now. As you guys can see on your screen, it's a flat line. I mean, Nighthound has been a little bit above everyone else, but not taking off by any means. I mean, it's only really 20 to maybe 30 gold at the most difference at times. So it's it's definitely just a very, very even game. Like I said, I mean, no one's really getting that opportunity to really take off. So that's why I keep going back to. I wonder what, you know, SmackDown on Polywalk Priest. I especially thought with that post-haste pickup, you know, we did see him go to that top lane and help push that, and the wards were just coming off cooldown. So I figured maybe the next cooldown on his post-haste, he'd be going elsewhere and look to make a push, but. He hasn't really done that. I mean, he hasn't been playing as crazy aggressive as I would expect when you go post-haste as your first item, really. So I'm not saying that's unfortunate or any means, or that's bad by any means, I guess, but it's just a little bit shocking, I guess, that to go an item like that and then not really use it too much in the early game stage seems a little bit maybe ineffective. But it is a free TP now for the rest of the game, so.
Exactly right. There. And, you know, Darkblade does have that sustainer complete. I did see he bought one of the broadswords, which is sitting in his bank right now, or possibly on the courier. What do you make of that? I mean, do you think this is a game that's really well suited for that Rune Cleaver, or perhaps a Nullstone or something else first, maybe more?
No, I think it's just, I really think, and I've said this so many times before, where Darkblade is, unlike other heroes like your Chronos, like your Mage Bane, like your Swiftblade, whatever, where, you know, Rune Cleaver is a great item to have, it really simply for farming and just for enhancing your farm early game. For Darkblade, it's very effective, not only for simply her farm, but it synergizes so well, especially with her Dark Blades and charging strikes. I mean, she could just clear up huge creep waves. It's also, if the heroes for whatever reason happen to be lined up or grouped up even, can do massive damage because of it. So,
okay,
yeah, I just think it's a very powerful tool for her to have, and then that with on top of the shrunken head is really like the ultimate combination of what we're used to seeing. So
I see. So an item that's great for carries, but particularly synergistic for Dark Lady.
Exactly.
Well.
But so we do see a catch right here on the Flux, though. In comes the more from Poly Priest. The smoke cloud put down, but the damage would have been. Flux pulls him in, though. He says, "Bring it at me, bitches." Flux will fall. Bubbles comes in there. Parasite trying to do all that he can. Torch will end up going down, but Nighthound now running away off to the side, going to go back invisible. Now, will he be able to get away from this? Oh, he purged himself because the dust was on him, so he is going to stay invisible. So very smart heads up right there by Leon Black. Obviously, another big reason to pick up no Fire Blade for situations like that. So he'll be fine. And it ends up being a 1-for-1, I guess. I love the Flux, though. He's like, you know what? I'm dead. You're all coming with me.
Yeah.
Brought them all in.
It was a pretty man-up mode right there. But you're right, the no Fire Blade on himself. I noticed that he got dusted, and I was like, Nighthound. Oh, okay. That was like you said, a nice heads-up play from Leon Black. Not the biggest play by any means, but the accumulation of little victories like that on a micro basis certainly do add up. And Nighthound is still in great shape, still leading the way in farm, though. That margin is rapidly closing as Dark Lady catches up, especially now that Rune Cleaver's picked up.
Yeah. Yep, just delivered, I believe, very recently here. Yeah. So, again, going back to the jungle and going to take out the stacked creep camps that has been assisted by support. Also, Morax is in here and working on some more farm himself. You know, again, a question of, well, what is he looking to get next? But we'll wait and see what choice he decides to make. Here in this game, I think Barrier Arrow. Shaman Cedrus eventually into Barrier Arrow could be very useful, but we'll see what choice he does. Codex just finished on with Talibah here on the Parasite, of course, so extra burst damage for him.
Yep.
Yeah, not too much else. Not too much else when it comes down to it.
Not really. You know, Flux has that portal key. Still, just pretty passive game here. As you mentioned, it started really aggressive, and now 22 kills across 26 minutes, and you know, just haven't seen so much action before that big Flux ult we just saw there. Dark Lady, though, has gone for that Abyssal Skull, so we've been seeing Era do that a lot. Now we're seeing Kezu actually mixing it in. You're mentioning how we'd like to see that Abyssal Skull a little bit more, and it really makes sense on a hero like Dark Lady. So good to see Kezu making that pickup.
Yeah, it's, you know, this is the Era build, the Rune Cleaver into the Abyssal Skull, and we'll see. You know, if we see something like a Frostburn next, that would definitely be very similar to Mr. Era. So perhaps Kezu taking after him, or maybe he's not. Maybe I'm just overreacting on that. But anyways, 9 out, it seems like he should have a good amount of gold saved up. Oh, he's going to jump on a torch right here. The Purge came out, got some assistance, obviously, but an easy kill. Morax, he jumped into the smoke cloud, so he wasn't able to Quakestone right there. He's going to turn around a little bit, though. He has his ultimate activated. You see Parasite coming in with the face attack. And jumps Dark Lady, though, but the pull away from Flux actually happening onto the heroes. However, Parasite will fall down, so not enough to save him. But the rest should be fine. Bubbles, you're playing pretty crazy right here. Oh, he ports away, wants to kill. Nighthawk comes back in, takes out Glacius, Flux from behind. So Bubbles was baiting right there. The comeback in. Polywog Priest wards are down, though, and Nighthawk in a bit of trouble. He is dusted. He will purge himself, though, and that may be the saving grace. No, the tongue tied on top of it. Nighthawk will fall. Flux goes down, and Luna just going to be forced to run away. So a great purge once again, but better heads up from the Legion team. The great tongue tied, making sure he wasn't getting away.
Absolutely right. That looked like when Slicks went back in, I had the same reaction like, Slicks, what are you? Oh, okay, I see what you guys are doing. A very clutch move, unfortunately. Didn't quite work out, though Slicks did survive that little skirmish. Also, to start that off, why did Parasite face hug Moraxis when he had his ult up? It seemed like sort of an odd target for that face hug.
Yeah, it was silly.
And it ultimately resulted in his death, so minor misplay there from Talibah as well.
Maybe he thought he could steal his ultimate.
You know, and I thought that, and then I noticed it was not the case. So, the thought did cross my mind, though. That would be broken.
Yeah, and I remember we had that discussion before, too, where it's like, can you purge that? And it's like, wow, that sounds stupid now that I think about it.
That would be the dumbest thing. Like, all right.
Yeah, so.
I don't think Moraxis would be first banned all the time if that was the case.
Yeah. But yeah, so Nighthound tying right there. That's, I believe, third death of the game, actually. So it's obvious, again, against a hero like Nighthound, you got to invest those resources into items like Dust, like World of Revelations, and our Legion team has done a great job of that. They do have a bound die now on Polywog Priest. That's what I was going to bring up, too, and, obvious situation there. So not only great for counter warding, but also great for seeing invisible units like Nighthound last time I checked. So very smart pickup there to have. And that'll mean no more purging yourself to get out of that dust, because the bound die we'll see anyway. So
it
makes things a little bit more difficult now for Nighthound. This is, what starts to hurt him a little bit.
Hey, this is about that time where things for Nighthounds start to get a little more difficult. He does have about 1,400 gold in the bank, but it gets a little tricky. One thing that can be really irritating, though, if they do manage to kill Dark Lady, and of course if TT Esports picks up the Bound Eye, they can put that on Nighthound, and that can be difficult to deal with. We're going to hold that thought, though, as Meraxis in some trouble here in the mid lane, activates that ultimate, and it looks like he's going to be able to survive a 4v1.
This hero, man, I don't get it.
What?
Well, it was funny, too, because he Quake stunned right before. He was actually farming the creep wave. And so he Quake stunned the creep wave to farm it, and then that's when he got jumped, and he's just like, no big deal, I'm Meraxis. You're going to give me the half-life, that's great and all, but I'm going to still survive. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, the Purge on a Polywalk Priest, slowing him down, not slow enough, though. Great tablet away. Excellent Hex as well. Bubbles with the Shell Surf in, but now Bubbles actually in a horrible spot. Oh, he gets over the ledge barely, though. I thought he might have got trapped right there. He's going to run into Torture, but should be fine once all said and done. Parasite, however, he'll run into Torture, and he's not going to be fine as Dark Lady will tear him up. SmackDown actually getting credit for the kill right there. A lot of portal keys being used, but it seems like the Hellborn team, they're just getting the hell on out of there. So good chase and pursuit from Black Fade.
Yeah, and as well, that Bound Eye, I believe Flux actually had it. And when Flux was taken out, the Legion team picked it up. So that was one of those kind of, whoops, now you guys can counter our Nighthound sort of plays.
Oh.
But you know, this feels like TT Esports is starting to struggle a little bit. It's starting to feel like Dark Lady is becoming much more powerful in this Nighthound, and he's starting to almost fall off a little bit here as Dark Lady's farm increases.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. I think it's very, very true, actually.
Well, the GPM chart would reflect that, so.
Yes, it would, and it's going to get better right here. In fact, there we go. The tower is destroyed. Of course, the level 2 wards. Yeah, level 2. Wow, almost level 3, actually. From Polywalk Priest. Wards coming out right there to assist for the tower kill. But you're right. I mean, Nighthound in his farm, he hasn't bought anything since the Nullfire Blade, if I'm not mistaken. He did get the Mystic Vestments, but nothing since then. It seems like, I don't know, I guess maybe
he must have bought something. Where'd all that gold
seems like, did he buy back? No, I mean, it does seem like he should have more gold or something, but.
Well, he had 1,300 a moment ago. There's got to be something in his bank, although I missed what the item pickup was.
Yeah.
So we'll be pleasantly surprised here in a few minutes once it arrives in his inventory.
Yeah, I guess so, but very, very interesting. So, but as far as the rest of the team goes around our Hellborn side, you know, you still got Bubbles being played by Slicks, of course. He's having a pretty solid game, 2,100 gold saved up. After the Portal Key, top of the commanding fact, they're going to use it right here to jump onto Meraxis. But again, it's freaking Meraxis. Parasite running away now. He's in a lot of trouble. Dark Lady tears him a new one. You would think they learned a lesson from the first time.
Yeah, don't engage on Meraxis. They were able to take out Insania on that Glacius, making it a 1-for-1 exchange. So it wasn't the worst of engages, though. I'm still trying to figure out why they're engaging onto Meraxis. And the crazy thing is he still isn't that ridiculous. You look at his inventory and you wouldn't think that he'd be able to survive so well like he has been. But, you know, now he has picked up the Helm of the Black Legion, adding to his survivability, of course. Still, incredible.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, what is Meraxis? What is he?
Beast.
He's just a beast.
He's
exactly. A beast with a shield and a chainsaw.
I know the chainsaw ult avatar is pretty cool. Of course, it's always confusing when you say he's throwing his axes, but it's not axes, it's chainsaws
instead.
Just sounds weird though, saying it that way.
It is a cool old avatar. I like it. But what is Dark Lady going to do with all this gold break? He's sitting on 4.4K, and I'm not sure what Kezu's going to do when he has to make this executive decision.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about, you know, if he was going something similar to what we've seen in Era quite a bit, that Frostburn pickup perhaps, but may not be. I don't know. That's a lot of gold that he's pulling up here very earlier on in this game. Okay, there we go with the Ice Brand. And
what else did he buy?
Yeah, he bought something else too.
The
Frostburn. Okay, straight up finished the Frostburn. There you go.
Okay, Frostburn. There we go.
All right, so there you go.
Awesome.
That's what it is. Again, so very, very similar to Era once again, as we've seen several times in this tournament even.
Yes,
so yeah, 405 gold per minute now, and he is getting very, very dangerous. And that's going back to my point earlier of, you know, when you were asking, you know, how does Nighthound maybe compare to a Dark Lady? I think we're kind of seeing that now as this game is progressing. My Dark Lady is just starting to get so powerful, and Nighthound, I mean, what has he really done as this game has progressed here since the earlier game stage? I mean, it really doesn't seem like it's been a whole lot. We see Meraxis jumping in right there, but he doesn't have to scare them off, I guess.
Yeah, Nighthound just finishing his Shrunken Head, so that's what he's been spending that money on. So perhaps now, with that Shrunken Head, he'll have a little bit more of a driving force in this game, but it almost seems comparable to sort of like a Dark Lady versus a Tremble, where, yeah, Tremble can carry, but he's a little bit more of a snowbally hero that's more of a mid-game carry, more so than a late-game carry.
Ooh, we see Polywalk Priest getting jumped. Nice habit away from Polywalk Priest. He also gets pulled as well from Flux. And the Purge comes out, and you see Polywood Priest somehow still alive, will finally fall, but a big team fight engaging in the process. Moraxis wants to chase down this Knight on the Truck Knight activated, but will it matter? In the end, he's barely getting away. Darkly down his tail, he pounces away, somehow still alive, but that Quake Step from Moraxis will indeed finish him off. Bubbles and Flux up to the side. Darkly, he don't give no, you know what I'm talking about. Bubbles will fall. Flux is also in a lot of trouble. He portal key away at the last second, so it looks like he will survive as well as Luna. And I believe, did Parasite even? No one bought back right there, but the TteS Flux catches Flux. Oh my god, the damage from Darkly is so powerful, as we saw right there. Double tap coming out, and now the tower push going to happen here.
Beautifully done by KheZu. You can't underestimate the range on that Taint Soul, as we mentioned in a previous game. 1100 range at level 4 on that ability. So Dark Lady is a hard hero to run away from.
Yeah.
Especially with those charging blades as well.
Man, they're going to go to the middle lane now and very likely take this out. I mean,
back-to-back
not going to stop
towers.
this. So yeah, that's big kills and pushing happening there from BlackFate.org. It's looking worse and worse for TT Esports here.
Yeah, definitely right. Now looking at this GPM chart, getting very nervous. Dark Lady, I think, has officially begun to take off.
Yeah.
Now with another 2.5k gold in the bank, it's just a little bit ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
Other item pickups, Torture has finished Astrolabe. I feel like he's had that for quite some while, though. Torture's farm actually struggling quite a bit this game. Umzai only around 200 GPM, as he is 5, and 7. So playing not quite support Torturer, but a little more similar than that solo carry Torturer.
Yeah, it's kind of the in-between. But I believe, he has had the Astrolabe for a little bit here. So
in between support and carry.
Morax is just sitting level 16 right there, so that's more good news for BxF. Of course, having that level 3 ultimate now for them to work with. And in the meantime, Dark Lady cleaning out, I believe those are double stacked Ancients right there, to now have another 3,300 gold already saved up. And they're going to jump on the warder's site here to get his encounter warding and make the Hellborn team pretty blind. In the meantime, in the middle lane, there was a jump attempt on the Flux, but Flux is going to be fine, so Polywog Priest not able to do enough to him. So. But you can tell right now the Legion side pretty comfortable with playing aggressive here as this game progresses, and they are going to jump Flux. Once again, he will push away with his ultimate, but he gets caught by the Morph. However, is a support here. Smack Donald in a lot of trouble. Parasite using all his nukes, but Polywog Priest will survive, and now the return coming out from our Legion named Purge on Dark. He's in that smoke cloud. He's starting to take a little bit of damage. The pounds coming out from Nighthound, but now Nighthound in the midst of it all, needing to turn around himself. The wards are down for Polywog Priest. Dark Lady says, now I got you. Nighthound, will he be able to get away? He pounces back in, but Dark Lady's still alive, a little bit too strong. Double taps coming out all over the place, and clean up from our Legion team. Aluna's on the run, but very likely going to fall right here. And we are going to see a genocide from BlackFade.org.
Wow, not to mention the Bloodbath hat trick coming out for KheZu. That's the power of lifesteal on Dark Lady mixed with the Rune Cleaver, as you mentioned, Breaky, synergizing so well with those charging strikes. He charged into the heat of battle and was able to survive barely, but he was still able to do it. Beautifully done by KheZu, knowing his limits and setting that up.
Yeah, that was huge indeed. Bubbles knowing that life is short here in this game, wants to give it one last shot, but Slicks, it's not happening, buddy. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the GG well played. In fact, there we go. GG's being called, or BlackFate.org. They will take the first game here in this best out of 3. So congratulations to them. But it is a best out of 3. So that is just game 1. Obviously need to win the 2 out of the 3. So not to get too ahead of ourselves, but that does put BlackFade in a very comfortable spot, and I'm sure they're excited after that victory.
Absolutely. BlackFade now in a beautiful spot. As I mentioned, winning that first game is always good. You know, filling you with confidence, morale, and it's just easier to think we only have to win one more so than that we have to win the next 2 in a row. No room for error. A lot of pressure going to be on TT Esports here in game number 2.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's, you know, their backs are going to be against the wall. You know, everyone's going to bring this up. Why did you pick up Nighthound? What were you guys thinking? It's such a hypocritical thing to say. It's because at the same time, we always say, like, when are we going to see these crazy picks? Experiment, try something new. And then when they do it and it doesn't work, it's like, what were you thinking? You guys are idiots. Like, so you can never win in that situation. But the point I'm getting at, I don't think Nighthound was necessarily the worst pick, but I don't know. He didn't seem to have the biggest impact that game.
Yeah, it was a risk. And don't forget, they picked Nighthound first, and BlackFade said, all right, you pick Nighthound. We'll take your Nighthound. We'll call that, and we'll raise you a Dark Lady. So Dark Lady was kind of a counter pick to that Nighthound, at least came directly after. So you have to wonder, was BlackFade thinking, all right, well, we're pretty confident we can outcarry your Nighthound with our Dark Lady. So if that's the case, solid drafting from KheZu. Nice heads-up pick. Certainly worked out well. You know, Dark Lady tends to get out of control if the game goes on long enough.
Oh, you got to give them credit. That's credit where credit's due for the ballsy pick. But in the end, Black Fade played the powerful lineup, and they end up winning. Very deserving victory. So that is going to do it for Game 1. But again, we got a best of 3, guys. So stay tuned. Quick break coming up here. And then Game 2 going to be coming up.